Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to MatchFit Entertainment's official coverage of Asrnz's 2025 Race of Champions. We are here for round 3 at the famous Imola circuit in one spectacular car, that being the Maserati here. I think it's a GT2 car, so the GT2 Mazda at Imola. Like I mentioned, Asrnz's 2025 ROC Round 3, brought to you by, of course, the good people at Race Command, providing excellent technical support and some fantastic servers. Guys, get in touch with them if you need all of that sort of stuff. And of course, MatchFit Entertainment on board again, streaming it to you live on the YouTube tonight. So thank you for everybody joining in here tonight. I'm Davo, and normally I would say right now, and here is J-Man right by my side, but tonight, alas, he's not. Some personal stuff just getting in the way at the last minute. I hope everything's okay, J-Man. And so we'll be rolling a solo. That is not a problem. It's the Davo and Davo show, I'd like to call it tonight. So Davo and Davo on the mics tonight, rocking it here at Imola for Asrnz in the ROC Championship, Race of Champions. That's what the ROC stands for. So this goes back, way back, for Asrnz, obviously. Race of Champions, pipping the boys against each other in the same motor car, on the track, on the night. So everybody in equal machinery, and that is the Race of Champions, ladies and gentlemen. Who is the best? Let the talent shine out on track here tonight. Yeah, like I said, has a long history here at Asrnz. Simple format here for the ROCs. So for over the 8 rounds, it will be the 2 30-minute races, compulsory pit stop for tyres, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, it wouldn't be Asrnz if we weren't testing them for tyres, and that's what's happening here tonight. So 2 30-minute races, 2 qualifyings, and a CPS, 4 tyres. They got to take tyres, and they only have 3 sets over the whole evening. So it will be a test on strategy, I tell you, for these boys. Definitely watch that space. They have rolled out in qualifying already. Let's see if we can get some vision up for you, the good viewers here tonight. Let me click the buttons, and we'll get you some vision. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Shane Faraday out on track, on camera, here running up through that. That's probably the highest point on the circuit there. And then that big run down the hill in the 585 Maserati. Like I mentioned, everybody driving the same marker car here tonight. So this is why they call it the Race of Champions. It really is testing the boys against each other. It's all about driving skill. Everybody driving the same car, on the same track, on the night. But yeah, relatively quick fire stuff, a couple of 30 minutes with the compulsory pit stop. Be interesting. We had a cracker last week. It's the big bad Camaros over at Watkins Glen in the GT4 cars. Watkins always delivers, and what better car to drive it in other than the Camaro, ladies and gentlemen. So awesome stuff. Lots of people viewing, joining in and watching that stream last Thursday night. short field last week, and we're looking at similar sort of numbers tonight. We got 11 in the house, but I think in the Maserati at Imola, that will be more than enough action for Davo here to call tonight. So bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. There might not be so much data coming out. My data man's on a mission at the moment. Knock. Who's this? That sounds like a Steve Wilton, aka Farmer, knocking on the door.
Yes.
He does
Welcome,
have.
Davo.
He
Welcome.
does.
Look, I just came in, bro. I don't, if you don't mind, just sort of maybe just pull up beside you here in a seat. Maybe try and shed some data for our viewers there, and lend a helping hand where I can, mate, if you don't mind.
Oh, look. Farmer knows the fridge is full. there's plenty of snacks, so you're gonna join it.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Looking forward to it. No, it'd be good to watch. Be good to commentate on. Yeah.
You know it, and
Great to
look,
be here, bro.
And no stranger to the comms box, ladies and gentlemen. MATCHFIT family here, obviously, and Asrnz family in Steve Wilton, aka Farmer. Thank you, my friend, for joining me here. I think I would have been a little hoarse towards the end of the night here, because I've got to speak for me and my co-commentator. So there would have been a lot going on. So yeah, definitely appreciate you jumping out of the car. I mean, you were going to get out there on track and give it to him again.
Oh mate, I was about to podium twice there.
Well, they should think themselves lucky.
Yeah, absolutely. I had this. I put on all of the least 5 minutes practice during the week.
At least.
At least.
As we now, and so the boys in qualifying. So obviously in the comms box, out of qualifying, so you can give comment on what's going on here. There's only about 3.5 minutes to go. It's a 10-minute quali here tonight, Farmer, and all in. Okay, so all classes, everybody's in.
Yes,
like
everybody's in.
Yeah, because
we've got our AMs and our pros and our aliens are all on track together, aren't they? Yeah, that's right, mate.
So a little bit different to the way we roll with the GT3 series, obviously. But this is all a bit of fun, isn't it, Farmer? A bit of off-season stuff, and the Race of Champions, which, like I've already mentioned to the viewers, is has a lot of history here at Asrnz, and we've been doing this for some years, and it's a great. Look, really, it's a bit of an equaliser, isn't it? Putting everybody in the same car.
Yeah, it is. It's a bit of a leveler, eh? You know, some like it, some just want to drive GT3s. Others really look forward to this ROC, Race of Champions, where we're all in the same machinery together with, similar knowledge, which is not a lot of what these cars do, because we don't normally drive them, right? So
no, true.
Yeah.
And obviously
exciting stuff.
It is exciting stuff.
It is. We're doing the GT4 one week, a GT2 the next, a GT4 the next. So alternating the different classes and
which is interesting.
Some practice a lot, some don't.
I won't mention any names. But so we're on round 3 here. So we're back into one of the GT2 cars, Farmer, in the Maserati.
Yeah.
Now, so the GT2s and GT4s, vastly different cars.
Oh, vastly different, mate. These GT2 cars, they're great to drive, mate.
They're fast.
They're fast.
Yeah.
They're faster than a GT3 car. And of course, the GT4 is the opposite. But but this Maserati is a great car to drive. Really is. A great track, great car.
Imola. It's a beautiful place, isn't it, to drive?
It is.
Some good passing opportunities, and nice and flowy. Beautiful place. As we just pick up on the last minute and a half or so of qualifying here, Phil Turner, one of the only cars, Steve Melling also out on track as well. But I think we saw this last week, my friend, where I think some of the boys are doing a little bit of tyre conservation in qualifying. You know, they're getting a number that they're happy with and then saving that tyre, because they do only have 3 sets of tyres over the weekend.
So it does seem to be a little bit of a common strategy throughout the field now to just get in some sort of qualifying on your first tyre
Get
and
that
then
banker.
use that for at least 95% of the first race. Come in last minute, go on to tyre 2 for maybe a lap or two, and then use that tyre 2 and tyre 3 for race 2. So the boys are sort of sacrificing the quali in race 1 a little bit to have a much better sort of race 2 sort of strategy. Yeah.
Sure, yeah. And obviously, like, they're running these tyres in qualifying, and then we've got 2 sessions per race over 2 races tonight. So there's a lot to think about. And there is a few different strategies. I know the boys, we've heard just through some post-race interviews that there's boys are running different strategies here, aren't they? There's a few different ways you can roll with this. As we just see Steve Belling just floating that Mazda through the first chicane there. Spectacular stuff. Got across the line. The timer is at 0, so session is over, but Stephen across the line and looking to make one more pass.
Oh, he is. Yeah, no, he is. He's good. Good. A little bit. I was going to say halfway around the track there with the timer just running out. What have we got on his sort of delta?
It's green.
Just getting a little bit up to speed with.
It's only just green though.
Stats, but.
And there we go. Session over.
Oh, okay. It's as green as the fence that he just went into, mate.
Disagree. Well, says it all. So there is Q1 over, ladies and gentlemen. You can see there clearly Shane Fonato, Danny Kim, Neb Shield, Steve Belling, Stu Arrowsmith, Lee Perkins, Danny Green, Seb Marsh, I think it is, Sebastian Marsh, and Joe Grimmer, Kenny Simpson, Phil Turner in 11th. Let's have a look on the calendar. What's up next as the boys get themselves on grid, set on grid there. So as you can see there, GT2's round 1 at the Red Bull Ring in the Mercedes. Mate, awesome stuff. Red Bull, big fan of the Mercedes. That went down like a treat. Last week in the GT4s, wow, what a freaking race with only 10 guys on track. Man, it seemed like there was 20, but it was only 10 of you. Awesome stuff. I know you got a little bit tangled up a couple of times. And here we are, round 3 at the famous Imola circuit. Sorry for bringing that too soon.
A little too soon.
Round 3, Imola circuit in the GT2s again, in the Maserati. And yeah, as you can see, round 4 is going to be at Nürburgring, back in the GT4s in the Porsche, and then we've got KTM's GT2, and then Brands Hatch, KTM at Silverstone, Brands Hatch in the Ginetta, another beautiful car too, Farmer, and then a couple of secret tracks at the end there, which, look, we don't even know. We're not even privy to this information.
No, you're right.
Yes. So they will be announced in sequence. So after round 6, we will hear what round 7 is, and obviously after round 7, we will hear what round 8 is. So gives the no practice. The boys can't go out there a few weeks ahead and do any practice at all or no setup. So awesome stuff. Great ideas again coming from the ASRNZ administration, their Farmer, and really putting together a quality series and really keeping these guys on their toes, aren't they?
Yeah, they are, mate. Yeah, they sort of, a little bit of a cunning sort of a bunch of admin there behind the scenes trying to.
You got to be careful how you pronounce that.
They're like, yeah, you do. You do. You do. You got to be politically correct and not offend anyone behind the scenes there. But yeah, let's do X amount of stints, but only give them one tire, or something along those lines. You know, and really a lot of thought going behind, really making the driver think about. What is he going to do? How many stints? How long each stint? And where will he use each of his tools that have been given to him?
Absolutely,
within these events. So yeah.
Yeah, so some really clever heads in the background there, putting all this stuff together, and obviously, you know, these are drivers still, you know, that are thinking about this and looking to put pressure not only on themselves but the other guys around them. So it's awesome stuff, and really good brains trust over there working behind the scenes to get that done. As we see the field roll away on their formation lap here, Farmer. Look.
Yeah, what do we got, mate? Who we got? Shane on pole.
Yep.
Sorry, the D Kim. I don't know the guy's first name.
Daniel Kim. Danny Kim.
Daniel. Okay,
yep.
Danny. Yeah, nice. Yeah, look, a couple of aliens, I think, up front there. Nev
and Steve, yeah, and
Aaron
Smith.
And Stu probably looking to advance from P5 there. Greenie had a great round last week. I've had some great battles with Perko there.
Oh, Perko's quick.
And P7, so he goes good too.
Yep.
Joe will be raising his class to a P8, not being off the back for this race. So good on Uncle Joe.
Seb, Kenny, I think it's Seb Marsh in 9th, and then
yeah. So we've got a newcomer there in Seb. He's sort of learning the ropes there, and we're trying to steer him in the right direction as per Asrnz etiquette, shall we say?
Oh yes.
And then of course old mate Kenny, he's probably eating spag bowl there while he's doing his outlap.
While he's doing his formation lap, he's just finishing off dinner.
He's finishing off dinner and probably talking to the wife in the background as he goes around tonight. So
so pretty casual character, Kenny.
Pretty casual, Kenny.
Hey, babe. Please. Yes, and then last but not least, Phil Turner on the back of the grid there, in 11th position in the number 8 car.
That's right. So Phil Turner goes good too there. So you've actually got a lot of what we would sort of call our mid-pack drivers really from the GT3 series in this, and it's a great opportunity for these guys. You know, they actually get to run up front. You know, get a bit more in the limelight, and it's a little bit. It just makes you feel good that you can, I don't know, maybe achieve more in the ROC than you possibly could in our GT3 series.
Well,
27th on the grid, sort of.
Well, you know what happens when we call a GT3 series. All the aliens turn up, don't they? There is another list of drivers that literally just rock up, put their name in, and it gets serious. And that's what this ROC is all about. It's just having a bit of fun. It's a mid-season thing in between the two GT3 series at each end of the year here at Asrnz, and I think, the old boys and the guys, you know, mid-pack guys, and maybe the guys down the back of the pack a little bit, they do really love it. Like you mentioned, their Farmer, and they get their chance to shine. I know this start-finish line is way down the track here, so I'm not going to go across here, but it's coming up soon. We do have Shane Fudderdo, we do have Danny Kim on the front row, Nev Shields, Steve Melling on the second row, Stu Arrowsmith, Danny Green, Darren Green, I think, on the third row, and we do have a green light. Good jump from Fodderdo, though, but not really getting much. But look what's going on in the background there. Who is that? Who is that just went round? That was Lee Perkins.
Car of Perkins.
Look, we don't normally do replays in the first lap here at MatchFit, but we will get a look at that as we just see Lee Perkins rebounding, pinballing between those two cars up the pointy, which I think was Melling and Arrowsmith, putting himself off and then just getting tangled up with somebody in the background. I think it was Seb Marsh as well. Unfortunately, it was Seb Marsh. But wow, what a start to this race as we see the rest of the pack, particularly Shane Frodeno, just running away, just going, you guys can deal with that. I'm out of here. I'm headed into another time zone. Puts Nev Shields in second, Danny Kim in third, Steve Melling holding down fourth. Lucky not to get more tangled up in that, to be honest, Farmer. I think he lost a position maybe to Danny Kim, but if not, still, those boys, lucky not to get tangled up in that. That was pretty scary. way to start the race. Kenny Simpson.
Yeah, very scary, mate.
Very scary. Kenny Simpson holding down 10th, but there was a couple of changes of position as the field equalises. That really has changed, I think, the dynamic of the field there as they come around to complete the final lap. But Frodo, look, I sort of think Frodo maybe in the alien category there.
Yeah, look, he kind of is a little bit in his own category, isn't he?
Yeah, no, he's good.
Yeah, and I wonder if we can whack a bit of weight on him possibly for the race too.
Nev Shields, Danny Kim, Farmer, down into one, side by side. Nice move from Kim, 101 pass.
101 sim racing pass.
Easy stuff. It made
a great job.
Made it look simple. We'll just get that from the helicopter. Gets it done very early. Has the overlap. Smartly passed. Shields, respectful as. Lets it all unfold. So quick change of position. Who was that actually? That might have been Grimmer and Perkins in the back. Oh, that'll be Perkins recovering, I suspect. Sneaking past Grimmer and on his way back. Like, I mean, with Perko, what did he qualify? 4th or 5th or something. So, yeah, just getting tangled up in that first lap incident. Get on the cameras on Mr. Arrowsmith here, Farmer, who is chasing down none other than Steve Belling. Let's get out of the in-car here. What's the camera on the Mazda like? It's not too bad, actually, from the passenger seat. So Stu Arrowsmith, closest cars on track. Arrowsmith Mel down into the final. Little complex of corners there. This double left-hander. Down off the hill into the first, and then out on to this start-finish straight. Big. It's not really a straight. It's like a little. It's like a big long turn. These little tiny short straights, all linked together and down into this one. Spectacular circuit, beautiful place, does provide some awesome racing. There is passing opportunities. It's not a bad track for passing, but it is very flowy. So the guys very equal in their top speed. I'm just looking in the background there at Perkins, still recovering. Made his way up to the back of Simpson very quickly, but I think he was out on the dust there, just coming out of that first chicane there. So pushing hard to get back into that top group. I think he's grounded up Simpson already, just running up the hill here out of the hairpin there, Farmer.
Yes, he has. Sorry, Dave, I'm just struggling with a little bit of data. And,
that's okay.
I'm not sure what we call it, tools to
the tools.
See what's going on here, but we do have bit of hookups there. So yeah, Stewie P5 normally got more than this in his tank, to be honest. So it's good to see him sitting behind Steve Malin with you know, not a whole lot of well, doesn't seem to have a whole lot of go forward pace on him at the moment. There he qualified, I think, P5. He's still there now, so
the pressure, he's got the pressure on, but he doesn't look like there's any major advantage. You know, like, I think that's what you're trying to say. It's just like, and when we see these same two drivers in GT3 cars and the like, there is an advantage, you know, like.
There is.
But here we go. Look at this.
Oh, did we talk too soon?
Did we talk too soon? With Arrowsmith just getting that overlap, and again, very similarly to the pass we saw on the lap before between Kim and Shields.
So there's obviously a little bit of slipstream down that front straight there into one that these boys are picking up on, just able to sort of get down the inside towards the end of the straight there. And because I mean, Nev's not really. Oh, I mean, he is a little bit, but I was sort of saying he's still hanging on to the back of
well,
Danny Kim there too, sort of ish.
Oh, definitely, and I think Melling, we'll see that with Melling as well on the back of Arrowsmith. I don't think they'll make any wholesale gains on these guys. You know, again, you know, like we mentioned, RSC is all about getting these guys in the same cars on the same track on the night, and obviously slight talent advantages. This is what it's all about, isn't it, Farmer?
It is.
But very little gains. Look at Shields on Kim now.
So Shields is on him, isn't it? Yeah.
So how quickly he gets those very awkward chicane at the top of the hill there, though. I mean, you know how tough.
Oh, it's
tough
a horrible
days.
thing, isn't it? Like the boys are saying, you want a 50-50 the entry curve, but miss the second one completely. But it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
And I think I just basically hit them both every lap when I was practicing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What are we running? We're running in the 43s.
Kim's struggling, trying to find balance. His tyres clearly phasing maybe a little bit there. I'm not sure what's going on there, but he's definitely feeling the pressure from Shields now. Shields actually now, no doubt, feeling pressure from Aris.
He will be, and those two are good buddies behind the scenes between Nev Shields and Stu Aerosmith. So Nev will want to get one over him by all means if he can. And this is obviously his chance to do that. Stu not quite on his A game tonight so far. I think we'll probably expect to see more from Stu in race 2 though.
Well, is it him not
I've
being?
I've just got a feeling, mate. I've just got a feeling that he's gonna. Yeah.
He's coming, but
he's coming. I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Simpson on green as well, heating up in the background there, with only a couple of tenths between those guys. Simpson, very respectful driver, as is Green. So that a little bit of overlap there. I would expect to see a pass sometime soon. But Aerosmith maybe, as we just pick up on the back end of that little exchange there. Might just get a quick replay on that.
There, because we saw, I think we just saw Nev just try to take a different line into that sort of section to get something on
Danny Kim
in front of him, but of course then Stewie was like, well, okay, if you're going to go out there,
and there was contact
of you.
And there was contact between the two cars. So, and look, I'm just wondering whether Aerosmith, after, I mean, I don't want to bring up last week again, but there was some contact.
He still owes me a redress.
I know. I've got you in the room. I got you in the room. I got you in the room, so I'm safe to say it. You'll be on side. Maybe he's driving maybe a slightly more measured race than he did last week. Just saying.
Yeah, so
just saying.
I did ask him if he was saving his redress for next week. And he did acknowledge his error, shall we say, in that race last week. So, and he was fully prepared to let me pass him if I turned up today.
Yeah.
So no, good measured drive from Stewie. I'm sure he's thinking, keep it clean.
And just thinking, wonder what those two bastards up in the comments box are saying about me right now, as we just see him float like literally airborne, all four wheels over that first entry chicane, ripple step on that chicane. A deadly little bit of track. One of the worst actually in the whole series. Tough little. There's a couple of them. Kalami comes.
Yeah,
come on. There's a few.
To my mind as well.
There's a few that have got these deadly chicanes. We will keep an eye on this. There's another one. There's another one. So
yes.
Aerosmith.
And look at this. Here's a good move.
On Shields, put the pressure on. Has he got the overlap? Yes. And Shields again, like we mentioned, very respectful between all these guys. Shields and Melling in sister cars there. Don't get that mixed up. Shields. Definitely the lead car in provisional fourth at the moment, Melling in fifth.
Yeah. I mean, out of all the different numbers that they had to choose, mate, I mean, come on, guys.
Okay, so surely Kim, like with Faraday just off, I don't even know whether he can see Faraday. Let's get out of the front of Danny Kim's car. Can he even see the other car? Probably bloody not. And, but what he can see is a mirror full of Aerosmith, Nev Shields and Steve Melling. So I think out of everybody in this field at the moment, Danny Kim under more pressure than anyone.
Absolutely. Yeah, and look, you know, if you're in Nev's spot or Steve-O's spot right now behind Aerosmith, you know Stu's he's gonna do something, isn't he? He's gonna make something happen on that car in front of him, and you just kind of hope that you can sort of somehow take advantage of that if you're close enough to the rear wing of Stu's car when he sort of makes that move. So, and as we say that, Nev just loses a few car lengths through that chicane on him. Come on, Nev.
It's a heated battle. Nev just trying to stove off, just keep Steve Belling at bay. We've also got Danny Kim there, just trying to keep Aerosmith. Look at those boys. Just move forward a little bit there. So, and Perkins, what is that? Oh, Melling into the pits. That's why Perkins has got past. So Melling with an early pit stop.
Melling going for the 50-50 pit.
Interesting strategy, Farmer. And it's not even 50-50. I mean, like, seriously, we've got 17 and a half minutes to go. So Perkins passed into provisional fifth there. Danny Green, then Kenny Simpson, Joe Grimmer, Phil Turner, and then Seb Marsh out the back there, yet to pass Melling. But plenty going on there. Look, let me just take this moment to thank a couple of our viewers here. Obviously, some of these boys are actually on track, but particularly John McDonald, one of the OG Asrnz boys tuning in there tonight. G'day, John. Seb's always commenting. Nick Firth, Warren Baker, Biggie Hugs. I love that name. That's awesome.
What have we got? Big Hugs. Yes.
Biggie Hugs.
Biggie Hugs. Yes.
Just commenting on Lee Perkins' unlucky start, and Lee Perkins actually on camera now. Thanks for commenting. And
we've got Warren Baker there with the big pineapple quote, Davo.
Oh, the pineapple.
Yeah. Now, come on, mate. It's the wrong night for the pineapple.
Wrong. It's not pineapple night tonight.
It's not
Mr.
pineapple
Baker.
night tonight, Mr. Baker. Yes.
And is that Phil Davison? It might be Phil Davison there in Dirt Dart, actually just jumping on and watching tonight as well. But well, look, enough of that malarkey. We've got to get back to the racing, and the racing is where the race is Stu Arrowsmith, Danny Kim. Danny Kim doing a fantastic job to stay focused there, Farmer. We're not even halfway, well, nearly halfway, but we're not quite halfway.
Well, we're not quite, mate. So yeah, just having a little look. We've got Joe just ducked into the pits as well there, mate. We've only had Steve Melling and Seb go in and out of the pits, and Steve-O was a good 14 seconds quicker through the pits than Seb was, so not sure what happened to Seb's pit there, but it's not going to serve him greatly as we go on.
And that's the thing on tracks that are a little bit difficult to pass on, Farmer. You sort of want to try and get that done in the pits too, don't you? You want to nail that stuff, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, Steve-O's obviously gone in with a strategy here that he thinks he's got a little bit of pace over those cars in front of him and looking for the undercut. Is that what we're reading here? I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, I've been teaming up with Steve-O, and we've been normally going long in race one.
Yeah.
Normally we go long, so I'm not sure. We didn't really get to have that convo tonight.
Well, you bailed out on Danny Kim in. So you rattled him.
I did. I was like, later, got bigger fish to fry, and good luck, buddy. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. And look, well, thank you so much for joining me in the comments box tonight, Farmer. You're a fucking legend, brother. So, that didn't slip out just then, ladies and gentlemen, if you heard that. Danny Kim in the pits. So, what does Stu Arrowsmith do now? Like, he really does got to get a wriggle on here and just try and make the next few laps until he pits, or however long it's going to be, really count, because it's going to all equalise at the end of the race, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is. Just looking at, even Joe Grimmer's stop, a minute 20 transition through the pits lap there, as opposed to a minute 30 for Steve-O, a minute 44 for Sid.
Okay.
So Joe's got something up his sleeve that we obviously haven't picked up on as well, mate.
Yeah, and time on the jacks, like was Steve's stop quick?
So Steve-O was on the jacks for 45 seconds. I wonder if he fixed a little bit of damage, because
okay.
a couple of the other boys, 33 seconds, 36 seconds for the other boys. So
because a good stop is what, 32 or 3 or something,
you're
isn't
right,
it?
mate. Yeah.
Okay, so some snaggy stops already, isn't there?
There is. So Danny Kim's nailed it, I guess, according to our statistics here, in and out of the pits and time on the jacks. He's done the best job so far out of the boys.
I think he's going to need it though, with Asrnz coming for him, and I think he really did. He does need that quick stop and just, and I suppose, and then hope and pray that Asrnz falls off the jacks mid pit stop. So.
Yeah.
So let's recap here, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll just get cameras on Shane Frodo here. And if you look in the background there, that is, I think that is the first, that is Steve Melling, you can see in the background there. So Steve Melling pitted.
That's P9 in the background.
That's right. But Melling stopped.
Wow.
Frodo hasn't.
He has. So, I mean, Frodo's got a 15-second advantage here, according to my stats at the moment.
On Aerosmith, yep.
Over Aerosmith and P2.
And look, just it's notable that Shields has hung with Aerosmith here.
He has.
He has not let him get away. So Shields carrying some great pace here tonight. Aerosmith, the car setup looks a little bit loose, a little bit snaky. Wondering with his wing settings a little bit lower. We did see that car very quick down the start finish straight. What did we just get there? That was a stop go for Danny Kim.
Danny Kim, in and out of the pits.
Oh no!
Stop go, Davos. That's a pit infringement, isn't it? Oh, sorry, is that track infringement?
Surely that's track infringements, because he's been out of the pit lane for a while, hasn't he? Surely, yes, it would have been track infringement. Absolutely.
Okay.
There you go. So
that's the four cut rule.
That's
here
it.
at Asrnz.
That's it. Look at Shields. Look at Shields.
Shields is on it.
Is Aerosmith distracted? Is Aerosmith looking for a pit stop here, maybe? Just checking his calculations, but they go around again. Darren Green, should I say? Always called Danny Green. I think Danny Green. Was he a boxer or something? Something like that. Anyway, Darren in the pit lane. So I think that is, if we look there, only the fourth car. No, that'll make him the fifth car that would have done the official pit stops out of the 11 cars on track. So not a bad effort. Shields still holding off Aerosmith. What is going on there? No, that is Mellon, actually. No? Who is that? Is that Shields? Did Shields get past Aerosmith? What is going on?
He did. He got him into one, actually. He kind of
we
repaid
missed
that 101
that. We
favour.
missed that. Sorry, I missed that anyway.
We did a little, but I'm pretty sure he just managed to actually slip down the inside of Stu into one.
Oh, there we go.
The previous lap.
Well, that just changed right there then. So, as we just saw Aerosmith sneak back past, he ducks and weaves. Yeah, so sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we did miss that. But sneaky little move from Shieldsy there. So these guys clearly equally paced. But at the end of the day, that you got to, if nothing else, these boys very close on track and changing positions.
Very close on track.
We will just get a replay here of Melling running past green. there. So Green actually stepping.
That.
Now that was for position, and Green did step aside there.
Well, Greenie just come out of the pits there prior to that, Dave.
Oh, okay, yep.
I wonder if he just let the hot tyres of Steve-O run through on him.
And we'll just pick it up and chase him.
Yes. It was a good stop by Greenie in the pits. One of our best we've had tonight on track.
Okay.
So.
And look, I know we're all in the same market car, Farmer here, but surely the top speeds down the straight
Mate,
must vary. Surely.
Would you like to guess who's the fastest man on track, Davo?
Aerosmith.
It is. No, it is our spag bowl eating Ken.
Oh, you're shitting me.
He is
it's Kenny Simpson.
Flying. Kenny Simpson is down the straight, Davo. 276 top speed.
Wow.
Yeah. Look, Nev Shields, Aerosmith, 275. Funnily enough, our man out in front, who's just absolutely flying away with it, only a top speed of 271, so he's clearly got more rear wing on that car. And, it just goes to show that it's not always top speed that wins the race, mate.
Stability, absolutely. And even here at Imola, which has got a fairly healthy, start-finish straight here, they do actually run full power for quite some time and then run up the hill at the back part of the circuit. I just noticed Kim back in the pits, obviously to serve that stop-go in the background, getting that done quick, smart, no mucking around. We've only got pretty much 7 minutes as of now, ladies and gentlemen, left to go. So that is all moving pretty quickly, and these guys that haven't pitted yet, which would be the leader, Shane Fuddido, Stu Aerosmith in second, Nev Shields, Lee Perkins, Kenny Simpson and Phil Turner all yet to pit. So with only 6.5 minutes to go, these guys want to start thinking about it pretty soon, wouldn't they?
What have we got? 6.5 minutes to go. So yeah, look, I was putting it down to the wire there. You sort of calculate what are we doing, a 142 lap. You've got to be watching you got to watch the clock. You got to watch the clock.
You do.
You got to predict. If there's 2 minutes left, I need to be putting in. You can't leave it to that last lap. You've got to do the one before it. So.
Yeah. And look, with what are you talking about? With the fastest laps by Fuddido at a 142.0. I mean, it's nearly a 2 minute lap. Like, it's getting up there, isn't it? So, with only under 6 minutes to go, they've got to start thinking about it. They've only got, 3, maybe 4 laps to go, maybe, so.
Yeah, maybe, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. These boys do have to, serve that compulsory pit, get that green box next to their name.
And as we speak, we see
Stu
Aerosmith in the pits. Watch this stop. Let's get the numbers on Stu Aerosmith's stop. We were going to compare this to Danny Kim's stop, but Danny Kim ended up with a stop go, so it sort of throws all that out the window at the moment. But
so it looks like we've got Kenny in there as well at the moment too, Davo. Both these guys
we do.
At the moment. Best stop so far on track goes to...
And Phil Turner,
Greenie. So Phil Turner in as well. So like you called it, Davo, these boys are coming in to get those pit stops out of the way. It is going to leave Shields in front of our Perko still to pit.
So what's Steve Melling here? We're just picking up a Steve Melling. He's just running up to that really nasty little awkward chicane at the top of the hill there, down towards this final complex of corners here, down the hill into the double lefts. Aerosmith already off the jacks and out of the pit lane. Mate, lightning fast. How quick was that stop there?
Well, yeah, look, no surprises. Stewie's got a 2-second stop, and he's matched the stop time. He's beaten the stop time overall by a second, and his transition through the pit lane is quickest by 2 seconds as well, back to Darren Green. So Stewie with the best pit stop in and out so far tonight on track. Yeah.
And we call it all the time, and it's called the 1%ers, and it's these guys, these high racing IQ guys that really get these stops sorted, and they nail them nearly every time, don't they? You know, like, and they do practice it. So, okay, so that has shuffled the field again, but there is still a couple left to come in. One of them is Nev Shields, who's sitting on the jacks. The only ones left would make San Prado and Lee Perkins. Farmer.
Just those two boys to go with 3 minutes left, so obviously they're about to pit. Does it look like Nev's in there now? Is that what we're looking at?
Yeah, Shields in. Shields on the jacks. Yep.
Okay, go Shieldsy, because he was in a good battle with Stu, so a good stop. He's matched Stewie's time on the jacks, and he is transitioning out there, so this should be tight between these two.
I definitely wonder what.
Here comes Stewie.
Here we go.
Here he comes.
And so Faraday stays
out. Yeah.
Faraday stays out as well. So
we just saw Aris.
Like Faraday's coming across the start-finish line there as these boys are running into turn one.
Yeah. And Shane going for another lap too, mate. There's 2 minutes
20. He stayed out.
He's going for another one.
Oh.
Well, why wouldn't you?
That's cutting it tight, though, isn't it?
Wow, it is.
Kenny Simpson on green as well. This continues. Now we saw Green step aside. I think it might have been for Steve Melling earlier. No such luck for Kenny Simpson. Kenny Simpson's actually going to have to fight for his position in the number 68 car. And I'm sure he's quite happy to do so. Kenny does love a battle. Lee Perkins in the pits as we speak, Farmer.
See, mate. Sorry, I just had a scenario running through my head there that if Shane's pit bay isn't past the start-finish line, if he goes in and pits, stays on the jacks for 32 seconds in the race end,
for too long.
How does that work if he hasn't passed the line yet? So I hope he's got this calculated right, mate.
Okay, so down to final complex of corners here. Has he got enough time up his sleeve here? Look, that is a good point you raise, Farmer.
He probably has.
He gets that thing pulled up early. He's got plenty of time to think about this. He didn't really need to push that entry at all, and didn't. 50 seconds now. He's got to get it. Oh, I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you now.
I don't know if he's crossing the line before or after his pit stop, Davo, and how this is really going to play out for him. But here we go. He's crossed the line.
He just crossed the line.
So,
just.
Yeah. That's going to work in his favour.
By a couple of boxes, isn't it? It's like bugger all.
Yes, well done, Shane. You're going to get away with it.
Well played. Well played, Mr. Faraday. Wow.
Down to the wire, though.
Oh, you know it.
Yeah. I've only got 20 seconds up my sleeve. I'll take it to the wire.
Yeah. and while we were calculating all that, the cogs, you could probably smell the rubber bearing as Farmer and I trying to calculate all that. In the background, while Shane was on the jacks, we see, here we go, Kenny Simpson and Green at it into turn one. Looked like Simpson had him green, just a little bit out braking himself, a little bit of contact between the two cars, still pointing in the right direction.
Yeah, a little bit of buffo there, Davo. Yeah.
The important part is they're still pointing in the right direction and still in the race and continue on. So Danny Green and Kenny Simpson, Kenny Simpson making a position there on green. Shane Foddo running away with it. Good healthy lead, nearly 20 seconds over Aerosmith after all the pit stops are equalised. So I'm just looking at where Foddo is actually. He's just coming into the hairpin before the run up the hill. Aerosmith just coming out of the final complex of, it's sort of that little turn one chicane business there. So yeah, very healthy lead. Shields not far behind Aerosmith, mind you. Lee Perkins back a little bit. Lee Perkins, good recovery from Lee Perkins. Farmer after what was a very interesting start from him, getting tangled up, pinballing off a couple of the cars. And
actually, he's come up 4 positions from his start, even after that little initial exchange that he got caught up in. So, yeah, awesome drive from Lee Perkins there.
Yeah, so nice work. Steve Melling in 5th, snaggy stop in the pits for Steve Belling. I think it really did cost him there, Farmer. Unlike Kenny Simpson, who's just kept rocking along, making it happen. 6th position. Where did he start?
I was telling me he's only gone forward 1 spot, Dave. So
Okay,
he must have started in P7 and he's in P6, but
that's okay.
Like, he just keeps breaking lap records, Ken, and he's gone faster again than his previous top speed down the straight there. So
nice work for Kenny. Nice work from Kenny. Shane Frodeau across the line, ladies and gentlemen, taking race 1 out here. Round 3 at Imola in the Asrnz 2025 ROC Race of Champions, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you by Race Command and MATCHFIT Entertainment. Stuart Smith, Nev Shields, Lee Perkins, all rolling across the line. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, respectively. Steve Melling rounding that pit wall as well. And down across the line for 6th position. Kenny Simpson will not be too far behind. We were just talking about Kenny coming past the pit lane there. You can see Darren Green, back of shot there. So these guys pretty well raced the whole race. Nice work from those boys. Phil Turner rounding the final corner as well. Joe Grimmer heading down towards the final complex as well. Farmer and Danny Kim, not too far behind Grimmer, but Danny looked like, for all bets, was going to take 2nd position there if he could hold Aerosmith out, but getting a stop-go, we suspect, from track limit infringements. So Frodeau, Aerosmith, Shields, 1, 2, 3 in race 1 here. 2025 Asrnz ROC. We are coming back in a moment for another race. Farmer, we will take a short intermission. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to MATCHFIT Entertainment's official coverage of the Asrnz 2025 Race of Champions. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here for race 2 after a cracking first race at the famous Imola circuit. And it's round 3. We're back in the GT2 cars. We're in a Maserati, one of the most fantastic sounding cars in the whole ACC platform as the boys and girls start to roll out on to the track. I'm Davo. Normally I would have my good friend and wingman beside me, J-Man, away with some personal things going on, but next best person I could have beside me is the good farmer, aka Steve Wilton, aka Farmer. Farmer, thank you for joining me here tonight, helping a man out and getting on the comms. Awesome stuff.
Yeah, no, welcome viewers. Thanks for unlocking the door for me, Davo, as I was knocking on there furiously
yes.
outside.
He was licking it. He was licking the window, really, to be honest.
No, great to be here with the MATCHFIT Entertainment banner on the window in front of me as we look out over this track, watching the boys starting to circulate around this beautiful Imola circuit.
Yeah, fantastic track.
Why does Eden Senna's name come to my head every time I think of Imola? Is this?
It's sad.
This is the sadness of Eden Senna, wasn't it?
It is the sad.
Yeah.
And it was actually, I think if you sort of dig deeper into the history, and I'm not a historian, but I think that whole weekend was pretty tragic.
It was just a shitter.
And I think Senna sort of topped it all off, but I think Senna was not the only person to pass on that weekend at Imola.
Okay.
And look, it really did shake up the whole F1 safety issue from then on, and the cars and the tracks have become much safer since then. So Imola, it is still famous. It's not just famous for Mr. Senna. Things have changed, particularly the turn 1. Turn 1 used to be flat chat in the old days, back in those Senna days. Flat chat left-hander all the way down to that little sneaky little hairpin before they run up the hill there. So no chicane. So now we have a T1, 2, 3 chicane, and then they run down and then do another, like 4, 5 chicane before they get to the hairpin, where before it's just like turn 1, big run, and it was turn 2 was a little right hand kink, and then it was into the chicane. Very, very fast circuit. So as like a lot of these tracks, they just sort of get shut down a little bit pace wise with these sneaky little chicanes. Awesome stuff. Still drive really well, particularly in these GT cars. So good to be here tonight. We will get a bit of a graphic up, actually, just to show you what's going on. We've only got 5 minutes to go in the qualifying, but just what's going on with the Asrnz. And mind you, and you can see it in the graph there, 10-year anniversary. Asrnz, 10-year anniversary this year.
10 years, David. Wow.
Mate, it's what a journey. These guys really know how to put on a show. They've been doing it for 10 years. They're still around, unlike a lot of other people around the traps. So, Race of Champions, well entrenched into Asrnz history over those years. So these guys really know how to put on the show with this stuff. But look at that calendar. GT2's round 1, GT4's round 2, GT2's round 3. This is where we're at Imola in the Maserati. Then back to the 4s with the Porsche and Nürburgring, and then we're back to the 2s in the KTM at Silverstone, and then back to the 4s in Brands Hatch. Awesome stuff. And then a couple of mystery rounds at the end of the season there, which will be announced in sequence after those are finished. So awesome season. These guys really know how to put on a show. Like we mentioned, it's a couple of 30-minute races. Sounds simple. That's okay. Couple of 30-minute races. They've got a compulsory pit stop. That sounds simple as well. So they've got to change their tyres. But what isn't simple is that they only have 3 sets of tyres over the whole weekend for all of those sessions. 2 qualifying sessions and 4 race sessions over 2 30-minute races. So these guys have a lot to think about in a very short night, what is in theory a very short night tyre-wise. So plenty of strategy goes on in the background to get this right. And, oh, look, we've seen it already. It's a bit of a shake-up. Race 1. Farmer, what do you reckon? Who's your money on?
I mean,
it's got to be back to...
We
don't have to look too far.
You don't have to be a genius to work out that Shane's fast on track and also got the freshest tyres up his sleeve there. We saw him pit.
Yep.
At the absolute depth of that
extremely
race.
late. Extremely late.
Yeah, so he's got 2 fresh tyres left.
Yeah, it was like seconds.
One
really, wasn't it?
It was seconds. It was. Yeah, so he's got the best tyres and the best pace, and clearly our money's on Shane.
Yep.
To drive away with this again. Outside of that, Stu Arrowsmith, I'm not sure where he can't remember. Did he put a bit later on there, Dave? I think he did, didn't he? So
yeah. So not quite as late as some of the others, but Arrowsmith, I think, still on a reasonable strategy, given the pace that he's got at the moment. But I think some of the other boys like Neb Shields and Lee Perkins and Steve Melling maybe where there's some I don't know, you just don't know what's going to go. I do notice that Danny Kim is out for race 2, so obviously some personal commitments there as it gets a bit later in the night. So Danny Kim out of race 1, but in race 1 was particularly quick. So that again, in the race of champions, it gives these guys just another position, another step up, doesn't it? And just to show their wares and just really get up into the pointy end of the field and have a bit of a good solid race with these boys. So watch Neb Shields, Lee Perkins and Steve Melling this race.
Yeah, look, I've got a question mark over Steve-O. We saw him pit, what was 17 to go, I think, in race 1. Obviously, he had to go into another tyre.
That seemed early, didn't it?
It was early, and he's at least used 2 out of the 3 tyres already. So,
yep.
Are we going to see a long 3rd tyre stint from Steve-O, or are we going to see a short stint and then go on to his fresh tyre from Steve-O? I'm not too sure what he's got up his sleeve. I was meaning to have a little catch-up with him, actually, mid-race, doing the break there to see what,
what he was thinking.
See what his plan actually was, but nature called, and I had to refresh my drink and get some twisties to munch on. So
these are the important things. These are priorities. Yeah. That's right. Look, not long to go. Under a minute, actually, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see there, as the boys continue on out on track for the last minute or so. Not much going on, actually. These boys, again, I really do feel there's a little bit of tyre saving going on in the background. And we've already seen it here, particularly in the ROC series, where these guys are very conscious of what they've got left in their tyre pool and making some conscious decisions to keep their qualifying short and just keeping it in reserve for the race, isn't it? That rubber. So, which has been really interesting because it a little bit shuts the qualifying down, because we quite often in the GT3s we see very exciting qualifying sessions where the boys go toe to toe right to the last second and continue to cut laps.
Oh, mate, absolutely. It goes down to the wire, doesn't it? Mate, each of them. And then it's anybody's game, and they're on, and everyone's pushing to the absolute death.
It's almost like a race in itself.
Yeah, it is.
But we're seeing here in the ROC these guys taking really calculated decisions.
You're right. This is a very subdued sort of a quality
qualifying session. That's right.
Very cunning plan by these drivers, I guess. I mean, it does come down to the tyre life during the race more, I suppose, than where you qualify. on the grid, I guess. If you know what your opposition's sort of done and where they're at on track, or, your cunning plan just needs to be better than theirs, right? That's all that matters at the end of the day.
Mate, that's it in a nutshell, isn't it? And I suppose, I mean, they've still got the inevitable. They've got to make a pit stop. And again, it's just Asrnz boys, the propeller heads in the background going, oh, let's just throw a CPS in there as well. You never know what might happen. That guys might miss the braking marker. It might not sit on the jacks right, or it might not get out properly. And just throwing in that other dynamic, isn't it? And it's just all about strategy, getting it right, just getting it sorted out. Here we go.
Lee Perkins. We've just got Lee Perkins there, just finishing up his lap.
Yep.
On track.
So nice.
Bro, he won.
Whoa,
hang on, whoa.
And look how close it is, by 0.0018. We weren't even watching it.
Right, take that, Shane.
Apologies.
See you later. Yes.
Apologies, Lee Perkins. We weren't even celebrating that. We were just like going through the motions, winding down. But awesome work from Lee Perkins. So 9 on track at the moment. Lee Perkins, Shane Frodeau, Nev Shields in third, Steve Milling in fourth, Stuart Smith, Mr. Green, Mr. Simpson, Mr. Turner, and Mr. Marsh rounding out the 9. I won't even have to call the names because they're all in Maseratis, Palmer. That's the easy bit.
Exactly.
The other easy bit for us is we're just calling another 30 minutes of awesomeness. But these guys do have something to think about. They've got to make a pit stop. They've got to work out when they're going to do it, how they're going to do it. And they've got to keep each other at bay. I don't know, Lee Perkins over Frodeau. Just watch that first lap. I suspect Frodeau will make short work of Perko and sort that out. I've got my eyes on Nev Shields, Steve Melling, I think, and Aaron Smith. I think that's where the action's going to be.
Yeah, look, I'm going to add Greeny to that.
Oh yes, sorry, yes.
To that little scenario, Davo, because Greeny's had good pace. He certainly had good pace last week. It got the measure of me, I think, on track. I guess it's nothing special, but like I was looking at the back of his car.
Wow.
Yes.
I wasn't going to say anything, but now you mention it. But I mean, look, this is the thing about Race of Champions. It's like not every car's everybody's cup of tea, isn't it? So someone will shine one week and then turn up and go, oh, this freaking Maserati, I just can't get a handle on it, But then the next week it might be a Porsche and somebody's just like all over it, so.
That's right. And I mean, the admin at Asrnz they didn't go out and purposely pick lemons to do this ROC race. So
there was testing.
They were strategically picked out. These cars are actually good to drive, so this is what we're going to use. So,
on the particular tracks, because they could have done it. They could have flipped it right on their head and actually picked the shittest cars on any particular track. Well, no, they didn't, ladies and gentlemen. Time went in, and the Mazda here is friggin' awesome. So, the boys just getting set up on grid. We've got about 20 seconds to go, Farmer. We will mention again, next week, let's get back at the calendar here. Next week, we're at Nürburgring in the GT4 Porsche. Don't miss out on that. And I think we will have points. I probably should have had points tonight, but I don't have points. Wait till next week.
Yeah,
I'll have points. We'll get points.
I don't have that info either. Sorry, Davo. Hang on.
It's a little bit elusive. But anyway, it's a work in progress. We got points coming on for these boys as well. So there will be winners. There will be sheep stations lost and won.
Absolutely.
As there always is. Well, it's sim racing. Of course, we're gonna.
Yes.
But
that's all on, mate. That's all, yeah.
True. So the boys out. formation lap. I look. I I know Lee. I'm sure he's nervous as AF. I tell ya, because having the likes of Shane Furtado, Melling, and Arrowsmith behind him, he's got his work cut out for him. Doing a little bit of brake and tyre warming there, and has control of the field as we speak. As they run through their formation lap here, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know what you're watching, I'm going to tell you what you're watching. You're watching the official coverage, MatchFit's official coverage of Asrnz's 2025 Race of Champions. It's race 2, round 3, in a Maserati at Imola. It's friggin' awesome. It's brought to you by Race Command, and it's brought to you by MATCHFIT Entertainment. I'm Davo. This guy here is Farmer. Say hello, Farmer.
Farmer.
Hello, Farmer, he says. And, and we're going to give you another 30 minutes where the goodness all these boys are. We're just going to talk shit about it while they're doing it. And we're going to...
No, look, welcome, viewers. Welcome. Let's get this under show you there, Davo. Perko,
nerves. I could just... I could feel his nervous energy.
Shane's in the pits. Shane is in the pits.
Are you serious? What the hell?
Shane, the president, I heard it first actually on chat, and I wasn't sure what was going on, but
the President
Farrell is starting from pit lane. Yes. Yes.
Just none of that sounds right together. just saying.
Yes.
He'd probably agree with me.
President Farrell, yes. All right, King Farrell.
King Farrell, yes.
Yes. So look, this leaves it wide open. Perkins, Nev, Steve-O, Greeny, and Stu. Even Kenny with his amazing top speed that he's got out of that car.
Yeah.
He's finished his spag bowl. He's keen to race.
Maybe he tilted the wing back up a little bit more.
Well, he might have, mate. He might have, but
you never know.
These boys, it's on, and it's going to make it interesting with Shane in the pits there, Davo.
Yeah. So clearly, a forced pit start for Shane Furtado. As we see, Lee Perkins, Nev Shields, Steve Melling, Green, Arrowsmith, Kenny Simpson, Phil Turner and Marsh all lining up about to cross the line here for a green flag. It is race 2, it is round 3. We are in the GT2 Maseratis at Imola, and we've got a green light. Perkins just jumps at it. He's got that big gap with Furtado missing. He's going to try and take advantage of that, I suspect. Just try and make some distance between himself, Shields, Melling, and Arrowsmith. Change the positions there. Was that immediately between... Oh, look at the boys in the background here. Simpson, Green, Marsh, and Turner. All at the same... Through that little first complex of corners there. Furtado now out and around out of that as well. So quite a big gap when you start from the bloody pits there. Actually, between those boys. That's like one full straight between...
So he's given away a good 15
easily.
seconds there. Easily. That's to last place. So, a good sort of maybe 20 seconds to the lead.
Well, that's what he won by in race 1. So,
oh, there you go.
That's pretty well taken.
Expect Shane to get the lead on the last lap. Is that what we're saying?
I think it's going to happen before then, but yes. The data would say. The data's not always right, as we see Arrowsmith starting to range up onto the back of Steve Melling already. This is lap 1, ladies and gentlemen. Race 2. 30-minute race, compulsory pit stop. These guys have managed their tyres all night. Who's done the right job? Who's picked the right strategy? And who has loaded the correct set to make that all come together?
Yeah, exactly.
And just make it work seamlessly. Arrowsmith, pressure on Melling. immediately. That will give Shields a little bit of breathing space as Melling focuses and concentrates on Asrnz's attack. Green's got Marsh behind him, but he's got some distance between him. It's definitely Melling Asrnz at the moment. Look at Asrnz, very aggressive up the outside, heading into the hairpin. Is he going to get it done? A little bit of a wriggle from Melling there. Clearly feeling the pressure already.
Stu really shown his intent on Melling there, and it's just leading Nev to slip away from the front of Melling there as he
just
goes into defence mode, doesn't he? You know?
Yeah, definitely. And look, I mean, comment on Asrnz's style. Super aggressive, but super respectful driver. You know, like, so he's pressuring and being aggressive just to force a mistake, not to get up beside you and tap you on the door and say, oh, look, I'm here, I'm coming through. As we just see Melling, a little bit of a mistake at the bottom of the hill there. Yeah,
done. Just
yeah,
like
mate. Yeah, a little bit of a forced error. We'll just get a replay of that actually. Melling down the bottom of the hill, bit of a wriggle through the first kink there, Farmer. Puts him wide out off the track there. Really needs to get out of that. And Asrnz sneaking on past cleanly. So I would like to say an unforced error, but there was, but there was plenty of pressure.
Unforced with pressure.
Forced with pressure. That's And who's next? Asrnz past Shields already. How did we miss that? Let's just get back on a replay of that one as well, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go, down across the start pretty straight. Asrnz behind Shields. And I'd say it's just picking up that slip. Down that. Start pretty straight. Ducks out. Shields just like, oh, Stewie, bro. Oh, he doesn't actually give it to him. He just gave him just enough space to sneak on through. But, yeah, nice pass there from Asrnz on Shields. So, where are we at? Faraday.
Yeah, well, how's Shane doing, mate? What's he up to there?
Oh, he is just a little bit, I'm not sure. My data is buzzing back and forward with Shane Faraday in again.
Yeah, so I've got Shane in 8th place there for maybe 4 to 5 seconds off the back of Phil Turner at the moment.
So I'm losing someone every now and then, and I'm not sure who it is.
I think we're losing Seb, buddy, off the bottom of our tower.
It's Marsh. It's Marsh.
Yeah.
Okay, so it just keeps popping up on my data, and also I think on your screens, ladies and gentlemen, as we're hearing this, because it's just bugging the server a little bit there. Marsh.
Probably mum flicking the Wi-Fi switch there.
Yeah.
So, come on, mate.
Time for bed. Have you done your homework yet, Seb?
Come on, Seb. Come on.
Look, what all this is doing, to be honest, is allowing Lee Perkins to run away a little bit. And I'm sure now he can see that he actually does have a little bit of a gap on Asrnz. He's probably trying to focus, but Asrnz's car is still clearly in camera shot. And Perkins will see it on the data as well. Not that far away. What's he? 5 seconds? It's 5 seconds sounds a lot, but when you look in camera shot there, you'll just see Asrnz coming into camera shot every now and then, and that will be enough to rattle Lee.
Perkos was a 10th faster than Asrnz last lap round, so I feel like Perkins has got Stu's measure, and you know, we saw him get a stop go in race 1, so interesting whether actually Shane will catch Perkins in this race, mate. I don't know. I'm going to call it now. I'm going to say Shane for P2. You
Shane
heard it
for
here.
P2. Perko to hold the lead.
Perko for the win.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Get your money on the table.
The money out. Yes.
Flick.
There's some good odds. Good odds on this.
So Lee Perkins rolling across the line here. 4 laps in. 23 minutes yet to run, so we're not even a third of the way through the race here. Early days, ladies and gentlemen. Fields spread a little. Aerosmith in second with a little bit of a gap back to Shields, a little bit of a gap back to Melling. All pretty equal. Darren Green in fifth, and Fodado. So sort of equal gaps between all of those cars. Aerosmith, Shields, Melling and Green, and Fodado, mind you. And I'll probably add Turner into that as well. Actually, but
you could. But I mean, Shane's got past.
He's got the pace. He's got the pace.
And he's the guy who's going to possibly give us something to talk about and watch come through the field here. As like you say, Davo, these guys have got a reasonable gap between each other at the moment.
Yep.
Yeah, like you say, Shields, Melling, Aerosmith, Perko out in front. Not a lot really to go on, is there?
No, a little bit of gap between Melling and Green.
Yeah. And I think Melling's got the worst tyres of the field. From my calculations.
Because he pitted so early in race one, you're thinking?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, fair call. So we watch that space. Does he go early? Does he go late? What's the scenario you think there, Farmer?
Well, look, he needs to come in.
What's he got in the pool? Yeah.
If he comes in now, he's gone on to his tyre 2 or one of the first 2 tyres that he used. If we see him go long, then obviously he's gone for that fresh tyre that he had up his sleeve. And he's going to put on a very well-used tyre at the end of the race. So with 21 minutes to go, I'm guessing Steve-O's got a fresh tyre on at the moment and he's going long, mate.
You heard it here again, ladies and gentlemen. Get
big calls tonight, I tell you, there really is.
Get the bills out.
I think we just saw Shane get
we did. I'm trying to pick up a solid replay on it, actually. Let me just try and see if we can get... There we go. Oh, that didn't work. Let's try that again. Get one out. No, that didn't work. Okay, we'll go back to the action. We'll go back to the action live, ladies and gentlemen.
They can just believe us that Shane got past it.
Well, he did. I think we did catch it. I was just trying to get replays, getting fancy with it, Farmer, and it just...
Absolutely.
I failed, to be honest.
Well, to be fair, Davo, the camera boys are a lot more onto it nowadays than they ever used to be. Back in the day when, we first tried to rattle... a few of the odd Filipinos from the local community to come out and do a bit of camera work for us. So, it certainly have upped our game by tenfold, if not more.
Yes. Always trying to keep up with the action, ladies and gentlemen, and just to try and keep you viewers, you very important viewers, interested in what's going on here. And I suppose if we can't keep you interested with what's going on, what you're viewing, then we just talk enough shit at you.
Enough, yeah.
Listen.
Yes.
As we see, Mr. Green into the pit lane. So first of the official pit stops, there, Farmer at 19 minutes. So that's a third of the way through the race. Early stop.
Yeah, look, a good strategy. He's probably out on his quali tyres, second tyre. Probably use that for quali. He's gone in 10 minutes, going onto the fresh tyre for the last 20 of the race.
Yep.
Another cunning strategy that played across my abacus of ideas before race tonight. Nice. Every time you say cunning, I get nervous. Look, we've got plenty of what we feel as cunning plans that don't always eventuate as the night unfolds. But
yes, stunning and cunning and stuff like that just makes me nervous. But awesome stuff. Greeny out of the pit lane. He's had a great battle with Kenny Simpson actually over the night, off and on, and just slips out. I think that was Simpson just rolling past him there.
Okay, so that's Kenny.
Quickly. So Simpson's pitted as well. So Green, Simpson.
Who's the first of our pitters there? But
yeah. So I think it was either Shields or Simpson, obviously, because Green's just coming out now. So Shields, Simpson, and so Green.
Shields over Kenny, over Greeny.
Oh, just actually talking about pit stops, Steve Melling in the lane.
Melling in, okay.
Okay, so you've been like literally trying to calculate.
I have been calculating what the hell Steve-O's plan was.
So what are you thinking now?
Well, I don't know, because I mean we're going to have to go to plan sort of what, E or F? Because clearly what I was thinking is not unfolded with Steve-O's strategy. And
it's nothing like what you thought it was.
Nothing like what I thought it was. I mean, 17 minutes ago, he's basically put it halfway again.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Which doesn't make sense, doesn't it?
It doesn't.
With the tyre pool that they've got and the amount of sessions they've got. So interesting ploy from Mr. Melling. It looked like he might have suffered from that early stop too in race 1, and sort of stuck back a couple of positions.
Might have possibly had a little bit of damage, Davo, because he was in the pits for a lot longer than he should have been. So
that's right. Yep.
Wonder if he went in sort of, unscheduled to maybe do a little bit of repair work.
Yep.
And maybe possible bit of left hand down there on the wheel that he couldn't drive with or something. But we don't know. We don't know what's going on with Steve-O. I will certainly get to the bottom of my teammates after this as we debrief before next round and try and up our game, Davo.
Well, maybe he's onto something. Steve might be on
it. If he comes in on the podium, I'll definitely hand it to him.
I want to know all about it.
I will, yes.
Nice work. Look, let's get back up the point again, and immediately as we just flick onto Mr. Lee Perkins' car in camera shot there, we saw Stu Arrowsmith coming out of that first complex of corners there, that 1, 2, 3 complex, out on the sand. Not a lot, but definitely pushing the limits, chasing down Perko here. You can see him there, back a shot at the bottom of the hill. Perko will be very much conscious of that gap at about a smidge over 4 seconds at the moment, about 4.1, 4.2, 4.3. It's just just moving around a little bit there. Shane Frontado chasing those boys down. Started what we suspect was about 15 seconds maybe behind the boys, you reckon, by starting from the pits, we calculated.
Yeah, roughly.
Just looking at where he is at now, where is he? About 6 or 7 seconds behind Arrowsmith.
Well, he's on P3 and he's literally 11 seconds from the lead.
Yeah.
6.4 behind Arrowsmith.
Yep.
At the moment, so
not too sure.
He'll catch Stu. Stu hopefully will not just.
You just calculate. No, true. But so you just calculated at 11 plus maybe seconds, right? And like at the beginning of the race, we sort of calculated, well, it's either somewhere between 15 and 20 seconds by starting from the pit lane. So he hasn't made massive gain, has he? Really?
Well, no. I mean, look, if it was 20 and he's now 11 and we're halfway through, he's almost nearly taken half the deficit out in half the race length. So, but not quite. So my P2 strategy is still on.
It's still on. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm talking because why I'm saying this because I put money on it. I'm just
excellent.
I'm just
you should, because there was some good odds.
I just thought the way you talked it up right at the beginning of the race, I'm thinking, okay, I've got money on that shit. I just want you to keep agreeing with that. So yes.
No, it is looking good. It is looking good for a P2 finish from Shane.
Oh, for sure.
Obviously, pit stop depending, because don't forget we saw Perko get a stop go last race too. So we need to be mindful of that. Was it Perko? Was it
Danny Kim? I think it was Danny Kim.
Right.
Yeah.
My
apologies. Perko ran clean race, and remembering Arrowsmith, should I say Frontado, still needs to get past Arrowsmith, whether it's on track or in the pits. and Aerosmith, as you can just see in camera shot there, those guys in camera shot together now. So, but yeah, Aerosmith, formidable driver and competitor, knows Shane's style well. These guys race very hard together, and it'd be interesting to watch that. Oh, well, there you go. That answers it. Here we go.
Because this is us. This is Shane. He had 2 good tyres. He's coming at halfway. He'll have a fresh set to put on right now. I think you'll see the best of Shane in this last half an hour.
That's half the race. Yep.
Half the race to come, Davo. He'll be pushing. He really will. He'll want to get. He'll want to get to the lead. He really will. Shane doesn't turn up with any other mentality than to win. Yep. So.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously what comes with that is a certain amount of risk, isn't it? And when you push that hard, and like what you're suspecting is he's really going to push hard. He's got the tyre there underneath him to do it, but he really needs to push hard to make that short that time deficit. So that can bring mistakes. Who knows? Watch this space.
It's just looking at a bit of the top speed there on the stats though. So so far around Shane with he's going a whole 5k quicker down the straights than he was in race 1. So I would say he's done a little tweak to his setup.
I thought so. I thought so. He's flattened that wing out a little bit. Where's Simpson?
Well, I was going to say on the other side.
Because I thought he might have tweaked his up.
No, Ken's gone back to the other way, and he's come down. So Ken's come back into the rest of the field now.
Yeah.
He's just
tilted it up a little bit more.
He has. Yeah, he has. Yeah. Yeah. So I think we've seen the reverse sort of strategy out of those two come into play, and Shane's clearly decided he's going to give it all.
Well, I mean, I suppose what it shows you is these guys, they don't do a lot of practice for this stuff. They sort of turn up, they might do an hour or so practice pre-race. Very impromptu racing, sort of almost this, and they're tweaking it along the way. Like they're getting out of the car after race 1 and going, it was either a bit sketchy or it was a bit boring and it needed a little bit more. And we were seeing that at both ends of the field here, with Simpson obviously tilting that wing up, getting himself a bit more grip, and Fodado backing that off a little bit and looking for a bit more top speed. So it was interesting to see, an interesting scenario. We are still watching the times. We've got about little over 10 minutes and it ain't much. It's about 8
minutes to go.
7 6 5 4 3 seconds to go. 10 minutes to go. So yes, very close. We want to see these last few pit stops. We still have Lee Perkins, we still have Stu Arrowsmith, Phil Turner and Seb Marsh to make pit stops there, Farmer. So it's got to equalise yet. We've still got nearly half the field sitting there unpitted. Yep.
Just a little bit up in the air with the different strategies and where these guys are going to sort of play out against each other. And I mean, obviously one thing for certain we know is Shane's going to end up in P2. But outside of that, Davo, it's anybody's guess at the moment with these guys still to pit.
Yeah, I'm not. I've got money on P2, right? I already said that.
I was just trying to sound confident.
I know. But I'm almost thinking it might be P3 if Aerosmith puts up a fight. Just holds him up a little bit. So I'm a little bit nervous.
Yeah. And I mean, Stu does have that demon sort of...
he's got the skill, hasn't he?
He's got that ace card up his sleeve with that 1985 Logitech G25 wheel that he's still running. Let's not forget that. He's yet to play that card. So that could just come into play towards the end of this race, and we will see something special. We really will from Stu, yeah. Yes.
Oh, I so hope so. I can't believe you're saying that. That's what he's got. That's his play. That's his game plan.
That is
his old school shit.
This is
His
trump
old.
card. This is trump card.
It's his old school shit. That's gonna help him. You just never know. Okay, we will be watching closely. We've got 8 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, all the viewers, once again. Obviously, Wally Baker spamming us to hell, you funny bastard. And no, I didn't know pigeons died after mating eater. Thank you very much for updating our audience of that, Mr. Baker. But we have under 8 minutes to go. This is the 2025 ASRNZ. If you didn't know what you were tuning into, I thought I'd explain. The 2025 ASRNZ Race of Champions series here. It is round 3. It's race 2. We're in Maseratis. We are at the famous Imola circuit here tonight, and it has been freaking awesome. A very short field here, but the boys never fail to deliver here at ASRNZ. Plenty of action on track. J-Man, not by my side tonight for whatever reason, but another part of the MatchFit family joining me here tonight in Farmer. For those guys that have been watching for the last hour and a half or so, big thanks to Farmer for joining in. And we are winding down, Farmer, here to the end of this night.
We are, Davo, and I mean it's always a pleasure to come in and support the MatchFit Entertainment team. It's been sort of part and parcel of the past as we've gone through these sort of things together, and it's good to be here. Thanks to the viewers for watching. Just noticing there, actually, Stu Arrowsmith in and out of the pit stop with Shane. Really, just he's in view. He's in view. He can see Stewie in front of him there, and I'm just waiting for my screens to give us some sort of indication of the gappage between those two cars.
Well, we can see it on camera, and it ain't a hell of a lot. But as we were rambling on, ladies and gentlemen, like Farmer's just mentioning, the boys did roll through the pit lane. What are the times? Hit us with the stop times and the trundle times on those two boys.
We've got it. You just
I know you've got it.
I've got this stuff here. I tell you.
Have.
So, look, Stewie, once again, we saw this in race 1. Stu, straight in. Quickest on the jacks, 32 second. Quickest pits lane, what do you call that, completion time? Minute 14. He got 1 second on Shane.
Wow.
I mean, 1 second.
1 second. 1 second.
yeah, exactly.
Well, if you got a hungy on it, 1 second's big.
1 second's a lot. It is. Yeah, look, Steve Melling's showing good numbers in and out of the pits. Sorry, it's a transition time. That was the word that was escaping me earlier on, David.
It's okay. Perko coming out of the pits.
Perko has matched Aerosmith's pit stop time on the jacks and the transition time. So
is that right?
There. Those two on the money. I don't think you can do it any quicker than
what those two. We're looking over the rear wing of Lee Perkins' car now as he rolls out of the pit lane and through that first complex. I can see Aerosmith. I can see the front of those car in the background. In the distance, he has 4 minutes, just over 4 minutes to go. He's pretty well only got 3 laps to go. He's just going to keep it clear head here. He's got the gap. Wow.
He absolutely does. And he's had a clear run from the start, though, isn't he?
He did. He did.
He had pole. Shane was in the pits. He really just had to just focus on his own race and just keep it clean. And error-free. Error-free,
critical, and good in the pit stop. So Frodo on the pit stop, Farmer, a little bit compared to Aerosmith, yeah?
Well, 1 second, Davo.
No, the 1 second. Oh, sorry.
1 second, mate. 1 second. Yeah.
Second.
So he lost a second. Yeah.
Shame on you, Shane Frodo.
Shame. Yeah. Yeah, look, if he doesn't get P2 by 1 second, we will let him know about that.
Oh, you know it. Oh, you know it. And I've already lost my $100 because it looks like Aerosmith's going to come second anyway.
Well, there's still a couple of laps to go, Davo.
That's okay.
Shane is he's doing the quickest laps on track. He's got the fastest last lap of the race, so all numbers point towards him coming forward. Just how much is yet to be determined. But you're right, though. He does seem to have a little gap there in front of him to Stu, and it's a good 3-second gap that he's still got to pull in.
Yeah.
And he's really only gaining maybe 4 or 5 tenths a lap at the moment, which is
it's minimal, isn't it? Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Look, at the end of what I suppose the next 2 laps, because just looking at the timing there, they'll get another couple of laps in this one and one more. He may actually chase back up closer to Aerosmith, but then it's all about the passing. Like you've still got to get past these boys.
It is. And I think this is where that G25 really comes into its own. So, like this is
the retro hardware.
The retro hardware really comes into its own in the sort of dying stages of the race. So, Stu will know he has that up his sleeve, and he's got that to work with.
That's his ace. That's his ace.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah.
So go Stu Aerosmith. Old school G-Series stuff. Freaking legend.
Go, Stewie.
Shane Fronado, I'm not sure what kit he's running, but I'm sure it's way more high than that is. And on the hunt, but maybe left to run a little bit too late, and obviously losing a second in the pit stops, which we will never let him live down, Farmer. Losing a second in the pit stops in the RAC in round 3 in race 2 at Imola in the Maserati. I'm just going to write all that shit down so I don't forget it. But Lee Perkins, on the other hand, on the last lap here in
good
first position. Wow. So happy for Lee Perkins, actually. Good solid driver.
Very respectful on track too, actually.
And regular
side by side with Lee, and he turns up. He supports Asrnz.
He does, yeah. Regular competitor, and definitely turns up all the time. So that's what we love. Team player here at Asrnz is Lee Perkins, Stu Aerosmith right behind, and Shane Fronado, freaking hell, Farmer. He's getting closer and closer. Not enough with this much time to go, but damn, that's getting close.
He's got it down to 1.3, Dave. He's really throwing it at him,
He's right there.
I don't think he realises that Stu's got that ace card up his sleeve, and he's yet to play it.
I think Shane realises I got a hungy on him. I'm just like, maybe I should have texted him or something. It's up your freaking game, bro. But here we go. Around the final corner, we are going to watch Mr. Lee Perkins. Golf claps all around across the start-finish line. Takes the checkers in first place. Stu Aerosmith with Shane Fronado. How close is that? 7 tenths apart for second and third respectively. Neb Shields with Steve Melling. That battle hasn't intensified as the night's gone on as well. 4 tenths between those two guys. 4th and 5th respectively for those boys there. Kenny Simpson coming across the line. Mr. Green. Darren Green. Not Danny. Darren Green. Out of the final corner there. And running down past the pit entry to complete his final lap in 7th position. Mr. Phil Turner past the same point on the track, past the start finish line here on the Kinksy, the checkered flag, and Mr. Marsh in 9th position at the end of the night. Farmer, do you wish to do any post-race interviews, my friend?
Look, it's your call, Davo. I'm totally open to, you know.
Well, do you mind dragging down Mr. Perkins?
Mate,
I think it's his first win ever here.
And straight to the top. Roger that. As we welcome into the booth our race winner for for race 2 tonight, Lee Perkins. Have you got us on comms there, bud?
Woohoo! Yeah, thanks, mate.
Awesome, Lee. Man, we had money. Oh, I actually had money on Shane, but it was such a great watch.
Yeah, I did too, to be honest with you. So.
I'm glad I'm not the only one. But solid effort, bro. You know, like you still need to make it work to stay in front of those two fast bastards, and you're focused on what you were doing and hit your marks. And like Farmer mentioned earlier, mistake free, and that's what counts, isn't it?
Yeah, thanks, mate. Look, I knew they'd be coming, so I sort of went back to a race I had a couple of weeks ago where I was sort of racing with someone pretty quick as well, where I really had to push. So I went for it the first few laps. Thankfully, the tyres were okay. I sort of heated them up pretty good, so that made a huge difference. Yeah, because those guys, I think, I don't know whether they slowed each other up a bit or what, but I think they were still sorting each other out. So yeah, it was good. Once I managed to get away, I kept a pretty good gap. Tyres got a bit hot towards the end, so that was helpful to get a stop in. But yeah, it was pretty good. So I know my second stop, the first race was not so good, but yes, second one was pretty good. So I was grateful for that.
Awesome, and a snaggy start. I think that's the most polite way I can call it for race 1. Call us through that. What happened?
Oh, mate, Steve, he sort of balked a little bit, and I had like a really good run at the same time, and I couldn't bring myself to lift, so I had to go for the gap. But I knew when I did it, I thought it was probably a bit pretty stupid. So I saw him on the right; they're just trying to leave space for him, and I just sort of got indoors with old mate on the left, and it was pinball after that.
It just pinballed you, you know, like you're a passenger then, aren't you?
I couldn't see anything. I just bounced and hoped I wasn't taking the field out.
Yeah. Look, to be honest, I think you and it might have been Seb Marsh got tangled up with you after it all, but the boys carried on.
Yeah, it was good. They didn't get taken out. So
you were the only one that went off. So
I was happy with that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But no, it was good. Second race was a bit of a surprise. I made a bit of a mistake at Aqua Mineral and sort of thought I might have lost a bit of speed, but they were actually tyres from, I think first race, those tyres, because I went back in and put them on, but
yeah,
they were okay. But yeah, I really pushed, and fuck, I was surprised I got that.
So what's your strategy with tyres? Because obviously Farmer and myself have been, running through certain strategies, Farmer drives, like in the series, and then J-Man and I strategize about how it's all working. Maybe, unless you don't want to tell us, what's your tyre strategy here with this?
Look, it's kind of it's pretty obvious. Like you just run a long stint and then chuck the second race tyres on right at the end, and that way you don't really use much out of them, and then you can just sort of quality tyres for the 2 stints, and that's like your third set.
Yeah, because we noticed a few boys, like in the first quali particularly, and even the second, where you guys just, get a banker in, maybe have another one crack at it, and then you just get out and sit back and save that rubber. Is that what you guys are doing?
Well, some of them do that. I think last week with the GT4s, it seemed to use a heap of rubber, and even at Austria, and so a lot of guys are doing that. But since you got a third set and you're sort of doing the swap over between races, you can pretty much just sort of go from right from the start. Especially in that, like they didn't use much tyres at all. I think I had like 2.85 or some shit left after the first quality session.
Yeah,
that was 10 minutes.
And do you think that's just the nature of Imola as well? It's a little bit easier on the rubber. It's not like these big, long radius corners, and there's not like big, massive stops anywhere.
Yeah, definitely. They're all quick direction changes, and you've got the chicanes and that sort of shit. So that really helped actually. That was quite helpful. Awesome
work, Lee. Good to see you. I think we interviewed you last week. One of your first podiums here at Asrnz, and now I'm interviewing you, and you're on the top spot. So you must be pretty tough.
I'm shocked.
it's still too soon because I'm pretty sure that I lost that podium spot on the last lap
because Farmer.
Last week there, Davo. So can you just not go back there just
Too
quite
soon.
just yet, mate?
Too
It's still
soon.
very
Sorry.
raw, but I do want
Sorry,
to
Farmer.
congratulate you, mate, on a great drive. And unlike Davo, I actually did pick you to win. And for Shane to come through to only to P2, which he also let us down. So we'll have words with him on that later. But
I expect more from those guys.
Yeah.
No, they did really well. They pushed pretty hard. So yeah, fucking Swambo was right there at the end. I thought, if he gets past him, I might be in trouble. But yeah, it was a good finish.
It was.
Well done, buddy.
Watch the stream back because you will be able to listen firsthand at Farmer and I's strategizing and where we thought everything was going to end up at the beginning of race 2, bro. Worth a look. Awesome stuff. Thanks, Lee, for joining us again, and congratulations once again, bro.
Thanks, guys.
Well done, bro.
Mr. Lee Perkins, ladies and gentlemen. Farmer. Anybody else? Your choice this time. Do you want to go?
Oh, look, it's your call. Do you want to see what happened? Should we just go a little bit left field and maybe talk to Steve-O and see where he went wrong?
Just get the boys down here,
rather than where they went right. So I just wondered, Steve-O, do you have a copy on comms there, bud?
No comms.
No.
Sorry,
yeah, look, we just thought rather than grabbing the winners and whatnot, we'd actually go and talk to someone that got it wrong tonight.
I'm not ready to talk about it. I'm not ready, man. Too soon.
I was trying to talk it up that we had
talk about race 2.
going long. Well, we're going back to race 1. Look, I'm really sorry.
Okay, sorry. Okay, take me back.
We were going to go long on our first tyre and pit at the end, and then Steve-O comes in, it was 17 to go, and he sits in the pits for longer than he should, and then he goes out and he doesn't really come anywhere, and then he goes 50-50 on race 2. What was the strategy, bro? What were you thinking behind the scenes there? Because clearly we couldn't work it out.
Well, no thinking, just I got caught behind. Well, not caught behind. Never had good pace, but there was like one run through the chicane, and I had to really check up because he got a bad bounce or something, and I thought, no, I lost a second right there and then in that one chicane, and it was like, I'm going to peel into the pits, but I wasn't really ready. Now I've got a new wheel, I'm still learning the button layout, and so I come in, hit the pit speed limiter again, and I didn't see anything on my dash, sort of acknowledge it, so I hit it again a couple of times, realizing after a while that was actually the engine ignition button, and I turned the ignition off, and then I had to, start it, but when I had to start it, I didn't have it on again.
Of course.
Yeah, it took a while. Then I drove up to the pit bay and I pulled up short, and they had to push me forward. And then I didn't turn the right tire that I wanted on, so I accidentally used my best tire. So I'm only halfway through the race and I'm using my best tire. So not ideal. But as it turns out, race 2 means that it doesn't matter what tire you grab; they're just all the same.
Yeah.
So consistent.
Okay.
So it's a comedy of errors.
Farmer. Clearly, it's too soon.
It's obviously too soon, but I just wanted to verify that you're not running VR, Steve-O, are you? You can actually see your buttons on the wheel.
Correct.
Okay, Roger. I just wanted to clear that up for the viewers. So it wasn't a line of sight view. It was just literally I'm not sure which button does what.
Pretty much forgotten which button was which, at that point.
Okay, so
Steve,
real rookie stuff. Yeah, okay. Look, I was trying to tell the viewers that we were teammates, and I was talking you up earlier on, but clearly I was a little bit premature.
Well, I needed you to help me through it, just to coach me through it.
You needed to coach.
I definitely missed you. But I'm glad you guys can bring it to light for everyone. Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Well done, buddy. Thanks for turning up and giving us a bit of entertainment to talk about on the night.
Yeah, no worries, guys. Thanks for the comments.
Yeah,
cheers,
no worries. Thanks, Steve.
Sure. Thanks, Steve-O. Legend, Asrnz legend himself, Steve-O. Good to have him.
Absolutely, as always. And very jovial, I think, considering the the up and down night he's had. So yeah,
Yes.
very much appreciate Steve jumping in the comments box there, and obviously Lee Perkins as well, ladies and gentlemen, who ran. Look, this is just random. He won the final race of the night. But look, I think that's it. Mr. Wilton, Steve Wilton, aka Farmer, great night out on track again here for the Asrnz boys in their 2025 Race of Champions. We were in the Maseratis, we were at Imola, a couple of quick fire 30-minute races with a bit of a pit stop going on. Also, thank you everybody that's tuned in here at MatchFit Entertainment. Thank you again, Race Command, for bringing Asrnz all their awesome service and technical support. And thank you, Farmer, for joining me with my good friend and wingman, J-Man, away tonight. Much appreciated, my friend.
Steve, thanks very much, mate, for opening the door to let me in here and have another sort of session with you in the box, mate.
Sniff of the funk in the comms box.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks to the viewers for watching, and like it's always a pleasure, Steve. I know. I really do enjoy this, and thank you very much, mate, for having me.
Awesome. Okay, guys, we're going to wrap it up there. Don't miss it. Same time next week, Thursday night. We are going to. Oh God, I just called this before. Where is it? Freaking Nürburgring Porsche GT4. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Same bat time, same bat channel. Asrnz 2025 ROC. Get involved. Sign up, guys. Get amongst it. Get more cars on track. This is awesome. And we will see you all next week. Thank you very much, Farmer. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you, Asrnz. And see you all next week.